Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? It has officially been 1 month since I moved to Lebanon, so this video is going to kind of be a month in review and me talking about some of the things here that I've noticed after living for 1 month, comparisons to America, talks about the food, the culture, the people, the language, and all sorts of other things. I'll also try to include a little bit at the end of clips of things that I've done, including going to Fahita, which is like the ski town of Lebanon during this season, as I do usually. So that'll be at the end of the video. Being here has definitely made me feel like the meme that you guys might have seen, where it's like, 1 day in Lebanon, 1 month in Lebanon, واحدة سنة من Lebanon. And if you don't understand that meme, definitely don't worry about it. But the first thing that I wanted to talk about while I was here is the language. So the language here in Lebanon has definitely been really interesting. They speak a mix of French, Arabic, and English, and you can definitely tell. It is by no means like formal Arabic or Arabic you hear in other countries. I think after 1 month doing my program with Psyche Institute and also having the opportunity to always be hearing Arabic at work, I have definitely improved. But I'm like at a first grader level. You can hear the fact that they use so many different languages when they speak in this phrase that you hear a lot of times in the morning. That became kind of a running joke in this country about how fraying Arab English it is. And that is, hi, kifik sava, which is hi in English, kifik, which you guys learned is how are you in Arabic, and sava, which is French for like, you good? And it's really funny. The one way you notice this the most actually is in phone calls at the beginning and at the end. And the best way that I could show it to you was doing a little skit of answering a phone in English in America, like how I usually do, and how people answer the phone here in Lebanon. Answering the phone here in America. Hello? Hey, how are you? I'm good. What's up? Answering the phone in Lebanon. Hi, كيفك سافا؟ سافا ماشي حال يا الحمد لله. لكن شوفي, do you notice how many ways that they say hello and how are you? It's like they're like, hi, how are you? How are you? Good, I'm good. Hello? Ending conversations in Lebanon is just the same way. And it's actually something that I always noticed growing up from like my parents. But to end a conversation, you're like, yalla, okay, bye, okay, bye, yeah, yalla, bye, shukran, bye. You like say bye until someone just eventually hangs up, and it's so funny. There are some other things that have been taking some getting used to. Traffic and driving have definitely been really interesting. After a month now, I've gotten so used to the kind of like anarchy of the roads that I don't even notice that some of the things that they do are really weird. For instance, people are driving a whole range of different kilometers on a highway from anywhere from like 40 kilometers all the way to like 120, and that's super normal. The street sellers here on the roads is also something I've gotten used to. I've talked a little bit before about how during rush hour they'll have people like selling things, like walking around and selling stuff, which by the way, they sell chessboards, and I don't know why they sell chessboards, and if anyone knows like why of all things they choose to sell are like these chessboards and like fur from animals, which I guess kind of makes sense. And then also every once in a while I see like really ornate bow and arrow kits. This is along with things like people who sell tissue and gums and stuff at intersections and things like that. But at this season, it's the start of the strawberry season, so on a lot of highways and side roads, there's actually like men with these like carts selling fruit, and you just stop up to the cart and you just like buy kilos of fruit. And that's definitely something that you don't see in the US. There's also a lot of people who just stop on the side of the road wherever they want to, even if it's highway, even if it's taking up a lane. Parking here is kind of all over the place in terms of like people kind of just park where they want to too, although there are technically rules and regulations against where you can and cannot park and how fast you're supposed to be driving, all of that. Another thing here is energy usage and just living in this place. So this apartment has actually been pretty nice. The one thing I really don't like is the bathroom, and that's not necessarily a common feature in Lebanon, but like in our bathroom, the faucet or like the shower head can't actually sit on the shower head thing because it shoots like straight out, and our little bathroom is like a 2 foot by 2 foot square of space. So if you shoot it out, it just washes the washing machine. Like it just shoots onto the washing machine. So you have to hold the shower head, which means like you wash yourself and then you turn off the water, then you scrub yourself down, and then you turn the water again, pick it up and you wash yourself. And that's very annoying, but not something you would expect everywhere. Most places have regular showers. You do have to turn on the hot water 20 to 30 minutes beforehand. The hot water doesn't heat up as much when the power goes out, which happens every single day, and things like that. Now, I learned a little bit more about the brownouts since the last time I talked to you guys. So the power goes out every day for approximately 3 hours on a rotation in different districts. So our district, it will go out from like 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then the next day it will go out like 9 to 12, and it'll keep cycling through. So most people in Lebanon, in order to know when they're going to the generator backup instead of running on the electricity from the government, have an app here like I do. This is called Beirut Electricity, and you click it and it pulls up a calendar of when you should expect your power outage. So for today, the cutoff was 6 to 9 a.m., which means during that time we're running on a generator. Running on generators for 3 hours a day, every single day, in every single district, means that pollution here is really bad. And that is definitely something that I don't know if I'll ever get used to. The first few days that I was here, I could notice that sometimes I would have difficulty breathing, and having all of this diesel fumes running all the time is not good for the health. There have been a lot of studies to show that living in Lebanon for prolonged periods of time can actually just reduce your livelihood and the length of your life because of the pollution levels, and much of it is contributed to the generators. So that is something that's really unfortunate and a lot of people complain about here. Culture. I gotta say, I love the culture here. Everyone is super friendly and they welcome you into your household and they treat you like family and they feed you a ton and they really care about your well-being, at least on the front. There are a lot of people who talk about the fact that like people are superficial here and like there are liars and you can't ever really tell if people are truthful, and that is true. There is a lot of superficial elements here, a lot of people who do a lot of plastic surgery and make themselves up to look really nice, and you're always expected to have nice nails and do your eyebrows and keep yourself prim and proper, and they look to like what car you drive. But I have been fortunate enough to be dealing with amazing people who have been really wonderful and super welcoming. Now, last thing I want to talk about is food. So I've been asked by a few people to talk a little bit more about food, especially my friend Alice, who has been doing vlog responses to my vlogs, which have been really great. Shout out to her. But food here is amazing. I could live here just to eat here all the time. They have basically everything that you could want international wise, except for like they don't have quite a wide variety of different Asian cultures. Lots of like fast food, Japanese, Chinese. There's apparently a Thai place. I haven't really seen Korean, things like that. But the food that they do make here is delicious. Everything is so good. Oh, the strawberries that I was talking about earlier from the cart, I got some from the side of the road and they are so sweet and delicious. You definitely have to wash all your produce here with vinegar to make sure everything's clean, because like pesticides are really strong here and they don't really clean things from the dirt. But once you do, so good. Some of the really common dishes that they eat here, especially during this time of the year when it's like colder, it's approximately like 50 to 60 degree Fahrenheit here on most days. And like the Lebanese can't deal with the cold, man. So everyone's like bundled up and I'm like sitting here in short sleeves and they're like, what is wrong with you? But they eat a lot of like warm soups and stews. So some of the dishes that I've seen most frequently, at least like in the office, watching people like bring home cooked meals, are like 3 dishes that I'll talk about. One of them is called Molokhiyah. So Moghrabieh is actually a type of leafy green, kind of like a spinach colored green hybrid. And what you do is you oftentimes kind of like saute and boil it with some spices, and it becomes kind of like a collard greens liquidy consistency. It's a very special type of consistency, but you eat that with vinegar and onions over rice. You can buy Molokhiyah at Arabic grocery stores in frozen packaged bags, and that's how they do it here too. and then you basically just cook it up following any Molokhiyah recipe. It's very healthy for you, and it's a warm dish, and it's got vinegar and onion, so it's good for like detoxifying bacteria and things like that. Another dish that I've noticed and that I don't really understand like the historical background behind it is crab salad. So it's basically artificial crab meat, like some form of iceberg lettuce or romaine lettuce, sweetened canned corn, tomatoes and cucumbers, and like a lemon mayo dressing. I've seen this in a ton of restaurants. I've seen it homemade. Sometimes they include pomegranates with it. And I don't really know why this salad particularly is really popular, but it's like a salad that you see all the time, and it's a very specific type of salad. The last thing that I've seen quite a lot of is actually my favorite Lebanese dish, and it's called Moghrabieh. Moghrabieh is a type of like large couscous, so it's like almost like a couscous meets pasta sort of thing that you warm up and boil, and you eat it with cooked chicken and spices like cumin and paprika and cinnamon. A lot of times you eat it with lemon, with like garlic mixed into it, and it's just amazing. On the downside though, it is very hard to find the actual couscous Moghrabieh balls in America. Other dishes that you see a lot of are like shawarma, which you can find at a lot of places in the US. They put not as many ingredients, and they're actually like significantly smaller than you'd find in the US. I definitely prefer chicken shawarma here because they add toum, which is garlic, but they make it into this like very non-abrasive paste, and it's just, oh man, it adds so much flavor. It packs a good punch. It's so good. Then they eat a lot of fruits and vegetables here. So a lot of times they'll eat raw cucumbers and raw tomatoes with like mint and bread. God, they eat copious amounts of bread here with hummus or lebne. And lebne is a type of like spreadable cheese here that is basically if sour cream and cream cheese had a baby, that would be lebne. And you can actually find hummus obviously in America, but you can also find lebne in a lot of places too. So that's a little bit about the food here. Honestly, after 1 month, I definitely can consider myself more like accustomed to everything, and I can actually see myself living here for the long term. I really do enjoy it. It's been really a good learning experience for me. I'm starting to find my niche, and I'm hopefully starting to make more friends who share like my common interests. Work has been interesting, and everyone has been so kind and welcoming, and I think once I get down to it, I mean, I have internet, even though it takes me like 8 hours to upload a single video. It gets better, and I can pay for better internet. It's just this apartment isn't that great. I have a place to live in. I have a job that's keeping me going, and I really can't complain. It's really good. The biggest thing is I miss you guys, my friends and family. But after 1 month in Lebanon, I can definitely see myself being here for many more months to come. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see where the next few videos take me. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys for being supportive and everything. And I'm going to end this video out just by showing you a little bit about Fahita, which is like the ski town, which is beautiful, covered in snow. And then also the fact that when you're not in the ski town, it is currently like 70 degrees and the beaches are beautiful, because this country is actually kind of magical. All right, bye.